Welcome back to another episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley.
And me, Tom Lucy. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. Each week, we will read the most intimate and sordid details of our lives from our diaries. You just said to me then that you think I'd be good at doing audiobooks?
You would, like children's
Really?
stories.
Why children's stories? Why not sort of more adult things?
More adult things. Oh my God, that is a massive thing, by the way, is audio erotica stuff, porn.
Porn?
Did you know that?
Porn's pretty big.
Porn's big. No, but the audio.
You don't need to tell me, Liv.
Oh, I know.
Christ.
Look at you, for God's sake. But what do you call that? When you listen to porn.
Oh, is it called
basically.
like ASMR? No, that's something else, isn't it?
No, that's when you watch people eating loudly, which I actually think is an extraordinary thing to do. Although I have got caught watching those videos on Instagram. There's something bizarrely gripping about it.
What, people unwrapping things?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the sound of
It's
it.
like
So
nice
what are you
on the
talking about? Audio porn?
Yeah, audio porn.
What's that?
Pretty much what it just sounds like.
And people
porn
are
that's
into
audio.
that? And you think I'd be good at that?
I don't think you'd be good at that. No, I thought of the
No.
genres that you could attempt wouldn't be sort of like 50 Shades. It would be more like Winnie the Pooh, maybe.
Yeah,
Do you
this
know?
could be good. I could do that CBeebies bedtime story
Oh, that
thing
Tom Hardy does.
Everyone does. Not just Tom Hardy, they all do it, don't they? Everyone's done it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could, if if the comedy dries up.
Do you think that pays well, bedtime stories on CBeebies? Probably not.
Well, not the amount Colleen Rooney's clearly getting fucking paid for I'm a Celeb.
How much is she getting paid?
Just seen at the cards. 1.5 million.
Colleen Rooney is getting paid 1.5
Sorry,
million.
let me stop you there. Colleen or Colleen? What's her name?
Colleen?
Colleen.
Colleen.
Colleen Rooney. 1.5 million.
Do you think that's true?
No.
That's a lot of money, isn't it? That's a lot of money. Would you...
For 1.5, I'd do it.
I was
yeah.
going to say, that's a pretty
I'd
obvious
take down
answer,
every
though, isn't it?
kangaroo did
Would you do it for 10,000?
at this point.
Yeah.
Would I do it for 10,000?
Have you ever been asked to do the jungle?
No. I want to do it though.
Would you?
Yeah. But the problem is, so the last two Made in Chelsea people who've done it, which is Sam Thompson and Georgia Toffolo, they both won. So if I did it and didn't win...
It would be a massive failure.
It would be a massive failure.
It'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
So for that exact reason, if I ever
You've
get
also
asked,
kind of already done it because you did the Sidemen show, as we all remember.
I think the side... You know what, in saying that...
You got 1.5 million for that, didn't you? Well, close to.
I fucking wish.
Sorry, I wasn't meant to say that on here.
1.5 million.
Sorry, it was not that. It was close to that.
It was enough to cover my rent. No, I'm joking.
You got to meet the Sidemen.
I got to meet the Sidemen. No, but in that I did a few of those sort of trials. I had that thing where they, I showed you that photo where I used to stick my head in a glass box and they filled it with all sorts of animals, like bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Which weirdly wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
There's something a bit daunting about that when they're like, here's a bunch of crickets, I'm going to shove them in your face.
I always think in those I'm a Celebrity food, like any of the challenges really, is there a moment just before they happen where in whoever the celebrity's head is, they think, God, is this really what my life has come to, that I'm about to get into a box full of cockroaches on ITV1? There must be a moment where they thought, when I pictured my career, this is not necessarily where I thought it would go. But maybe not, because nowadays that's like peak TV. That's like the biggest thing you can do, isn't it?
I reckon that I'm a Celeb probably is, That or Strictly, isn't it?
I think when it started though, it was for like more washed up celebrities, wasn't it? But now it's like a huge thing to do.
Washed up?
It is.
Was it?
When it started, I think it was. I think it was a bit embarrassing to do it. But now it's like, I think
now
like,
it's massive.
It's what everyone wants to do.
Yeah.
Strictly as well. Everybody wants to do Strictly.
Which would you rather do, Strictly or The Jungle?
I'd rather do Strictly than The Jungle.
Have you ever been asked?
No, definitely not. I'm not in the same league as, I don't know, who's on it this year? Pete Wicks? Actually, that's not true. But no, I've not been asked to do it. Dancing on Ice, I think we can agree, is probably the worst.
Is it?
I don't think I'm saying anything too contentious. Of all of the like celebrity challenge shows, Big Brother's quite low down, isn't it? SAS Who Dares Wins.
Oh,
I can see you on that.
No, I think I'd have a panic. Someone asked me about this the other day if I would do it. And I had a friend of mine did it the other day. She said she lasted 7 hours. She said it was horrific.
One of your friends did it the other day.
Yeah, or no, did it recently, whatever the recent one is.
Yeah.
Has it come out? I don't think it's come out yet. She said I didn't even last a day. My concern is I don't think you could smoke cigarettes. And that would mean...
You very rarely see people popping out for a cigarette on SAS Who Dares Win.
Well, it's just...
Or in any of the challenge shows, do you really?
Oh, yeah, no, you can't even smoke on Big Brother anymore, can you? Love Island, you can't smoke on it.
Can you smoke in the jungle?
I assume you'd be allowed to have a little ciggy, but off camera.
I don't think you can. Can you?
There must be a smoking area.
I don't think there's a smoking area in the camp. Otherwise, everyone would be in there all the time. So who's going into I'm a Celebrity this year? Colleen Rooney, Danny from McFly,
Maura Higgins.
Talisa. She's fucking terrifying, Talisa.
Is she?
Do you remember when she went mental in a petrol station?
No.
Or was that was Dappy, I think, wasn't it? Anyway, she's got form, hasn't she? She fights people. That'll be good
Sorry,
TV.
what do you mean she fights people?
She's been like in court a few times for
Having a punch up.
GBH and stuff, isn't she? She'll be great in there, I reckon. Rile her up.
Beating up Colleen Rooney.
Yeah. Stick Talisa in a big coffin full of snakes and just watch her get angry.
Oh, God.
Who would be the worst person for you to go in there with?
Oh, who do I find fucking irritating?
That's another way of asking that question.
Sorry.
Who would be the worst person to go in there with? If we were like, okay, Liv, we're going to give you a huge amount of money to go in, but you've got to go in with this person.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think now.
One of your exes,
I literally
maybe?
was thinking that, yeah.
Would that be weird?
Probably, yeah. I can't actually think. Who would your worst be? I'm trying to think who would just fuck me off. People with too much energy, I think. Weirdly, Sam Thompson would have done my fucking nut in, if I can say that.
Yeah, he'd be full on, wouldn't he?
Great TV, just fucking annoying.
Who would be the worst person to go
Can
in
I say
there
that?
with?
Does that sound a bit cunty? Nah, it's fine.
I think that's fine.
He'll understand.
Who would be the worst person to go in there with? Someone like... Who do I not like that I'm happy to admit on a podcast? Maybe like... I don't know.
Jamie Lang?
No, that would be all right. What about like... would Piers Morgan be quite annoying to be in there with?
No, I think he'd be great.
Why?
Because at least he'd just entertain you with his comments. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can have quite interesting conversations with him. Borderline arguments.
Oh, I tell you who I would pick. Harry from The Traitors.
Why?
Because there was a period last year where he was just... Everything I went to,
Oh, yeah, he
Harry
was
from The
at.
Traitors was there. And it was really starting to annoy me. He's not there anymore.
I didn't watch it, so I'm not sure, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want us to go on this, the celebrity version.
Of The Traitors?
Yeah.
Are they doing that?
I should really watch it to say all that. Apparently they are doing that. I think they've already cast it.
Have they? That's a shame.
Do you think it's rigged? I never know.
I don't think it's rigged, but I think what is probably true is that like the producers give people more airtime.
That's what I mean. Like certain people tend to do get more airtime, or
Like,
is
they
it just because
maybe
they're more interesting?
I don't know. Like a friend of mine went. I won't say her name because I don't think she'd want to, but she went on it a few years ago, and she said to someone, "I'm just really worried about them making me look like a dick in the editing." And they were like, "Well, if you don't say anything bad, we can't make you look
Yeah.
like a dick. If you say bad things, then that's probably going to make the show, isn't it? But if you don't behave like a dick, you probably aren't going to be made to look like a dick."
Yeah.
It's just difficult because you're being filmed like the entire time.
See, I'm trying to work out. It's weird. Prior to doing Inside, I worried that I would be conscious of stuff like that, but then actually,
You forget that
you
you're being
forget.
filmed.
But that's why it's worse, because then fuck knows what sort of things you say.
Do you think you're the kind of person who could like if you were filmed for 24 hours, would there be bits of the day that you would be like, don't put that out
Me snoring myself to sleep, probably, yeah.
in a hammock
Well, no, the only thing I was snoring in a hammock.
on your back in a hammock? I sleep talk. That would be bad, wouldn't it? I say all sorts of weird stuff in the night.
What do you say in the night?
Olivia the other day said to me that I, in the middle of the night, had sat up and said, "Oh, this seat's free if you want to sit here."
Sorry.
Apparently, that's what I said at 2:00 in the
Do
morning.
you remember dreaming of anything specific?
No, but she found it really funny. She was like, "God, you must be having such boring dreams that you're just dreaming about like being on the tube and going, oh, you can sit here if you want."
Rory did it to me the other night and he said, "Fuck off." And I said, "You
What, in
fuck off," in his sleep. And I said in the morning, I said, "What were you dreaming about last night?" But he was
He told you to fuck off in his sleep.
And he was like, "It wasn't to you though." And I was like, "All right."
That's funny. At least that's more interesting than mine.
Yeah,
mine
is
is just
it?
like doing menial jobs. I'm like, oh, let me help you with the shopping.
Gripping stuff.
You're meant to have exciting dreams. Do you dream?
Yeah. But I dream when I'm overtired.
Yeah.
I go through phases of like never dreaming and then sometimes I do.
I think you sleep talk when you're overtired as well.
Yeah.
Bad things happen when you're overtired.
Horrible things. I'm just a grumpy bitch.
Really, when you're tired?
Yeah. They say women need more sleep than men.
Do they?
Yeah, that is actually true.
Who says that?
Google.
Women.
No, it is. I think actually. Yeah, women do need
How
more
much
sleep.
more sleep do women need?
Women typically need 20 minutes more sleep than men.
Oh, 20 minutes? I was going to say a good hour.
Okay, something said women's brains are more complex and work harder than men's. That's true. Okay.
Women's brains are more complex and work harder. Is that true?
Totally makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, they just do, don't they? Women know how to multitask. There's a lot we can
That's
do.
such an old cliche though, isn't it?
But it's
Women
not-
can
it-
multitask and men
I
can't.
can put money on that being very true.
Really?
If you have one job to do, you'll just have to be able to do that one job. Women, they can do 10 at one go.
What 10 jobs would you be doing at one go?
A blowjob? No, I'm joking.
10
While
blowjobs at the
thinking
same
about
time?
dinner.
It's like having Bonnie Blue here.
Oh, by the way, we've got to stop saying her name because she's come up on my bloody For You page on Instagram so many times.
Really?
Yeah, eating things with other people. Honestly, she's come up loads of
Oh, I
times.
saw that video, yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
I don't like the way phones do this. Ever since, by the way, we had the sidekick, what's he called, Chris in here, I get shown women giving birth every 5 fucking minutes on my phone. Talking
Really?
about pregnancy.
Because you're pregnant?
Because I'm not pregnant.
Oh,
although my
because you're
phone
not.
thinks I am for some bizarre reason. Anyway.
Talking of the jungle
Yeah.
and I'm a celebrity, let's talk about phobias. You strike me as someone who might have quite a few phobias.
Yeah, I do a bit. The general
you?
public's one.
Uh-huh. Public transport.
Public transport is not a phobia. I am claustrophobic. That's my thing.
Claustrophobic.
That's been my worst, yeah.
So you don't like being in small spaces?
No, stresses me out a lot.
Do you ever have to be in a... Is that why you don't use the tube? Or is it because
No, it's not to do with that. I use the tube. What a ridiculous thing to say. No, but like, I would be conscious getting into a lift rammed full of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good one. What about, like, planes? Planes
No,
are okay?
planes I'm fine. Never had that worry.
A phobia is a type of anxiety disorder involving an intense fear of an object or situation. Common phobias include spiders, heights, snakes, vomit, flying.
Oh, vomit and
Is
heights.
flying a big common phobia?
Yeah, some people hate flying. But actually, in saying that, vomit, for me, it's actually pretty rank. Like, if someone's sick or someone, I said this earlier, if people sneeze, I don't like it.
Sneezing
I don't
is
like
a
people
weird
who
one.
yawn as well. I always notice it when you're driving in a car and you look over and someone's like yawning and doesn't put their hand, that makes me feel a bit sick.
Right. What, somebody behind you in the
Yeah,
car?
or
anyone?
It's just, phobia.
You don't like open mouth yawning?
No, I think, but you should cover it's like
You
if you're
should.
coughing.
You should, yeah, you should. Or sneezing. You should cover that.
Yeah, sneezing, you're 100%. Oh, that makes me feel weird, actually.
Who sneezes without covering
A
their
lot
mouth?
of people. It's horrible.
That is wild that people do that.
Especially after all that COVID.
Yeah. But you think claustrophobia is your biggest one?
Yeah, I think that and heights. Weirdly, heights. I
See,
used
I
to be.
told you got loads. I said I thought you'd have loads.
But their own. The heights.
You're just going through the whole list.
Well, listen, sweet cheeks. I'm pretty sure you've got a couple phobias.
Yeah.
But weirdly, the heights one, I used to be absolutely fine, and I think the most recent time I'd gone like, I'd gone on a hot air balloon. I panicked.
You went on a hot air balloon?
Yeah, I was necked the bottle of champagne. It was for filming Men in Chelsea, and I was like, I got in there and I thought, fucking hell, it was horrible.
You filmed up on a hot air balloon?
Yeah, it was the first date I had with someone
A first date on a hot air
in
balloon?
Tuscany. Yeah.
Sure.
It was really high end. But yeah, it was made me very nervous. Clammy
That's a really
hands.
intense first date because you literally can't go anywhere, can
Yeah.
you? You can't leave halfway through that. You
But-
can't, or you just throw yourself off the hot air balloon. How bad is it going if you'd rather just jump out the balloon?
pretty bad.
Or just get up into the fire and just torch yourself?
Your brain works in a very strange way.
How long is a hot air balloon ride?
So we were up there for a couple of hours.
That's a long time.
It was.
Just alone in a basket.
Yeah, you're making
a
it
long
sound
time.
really odd with a cameraman.
That's a good idea for a TV show. Put two people up in a hot air balloon, film it, and then when they come down the other side, they're either together or they're not together. Good idea.
Stuck together for 2 hours. It'd be a nightmare.
So
It didn't go
heights,
well.
claustrophobia, anything
Yeah,
else?
I think that's it, really.
I went on a school trip once, and we went to this place where you had to crawl through a 100-meter long tunnel in the
My
dark.
idea of hell.
And I was like, I can't do this. I honestly.
Did you pussy out and not do it?
Yeah, I didn't do it because I was like, what if I get halfway down the tunnel and then I get stuck, and then I'm 50 meters in, it's pitch black, I can't go backwards.
Oh no, the thought of it makes me feel a bit
What
weird.
would you do?
I don't know. It's the thought of your arms like being
Yeah.
stuck down.
What about Rory? Does he have weird phobias? Is he quite good in the house? If there's a spider, will he take control?
Weirdly, I'm not bothered about spiders. I'm not bothered about like snakes or spiders and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was asleep in the jungle and some fucker crawled up my leg, I'd have a heart attack. But like, if there was a spider there, I wouldn't. I'm not that bothered by that.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
What would crawl up your leg in the jungle?
A lot of things.
Danny from McFly.
Shut up. I mean, anything going up your leg without you aware of it is probably slightly terrifying.
Nothing scarier than Danny from McFly.
Crawling up
That's my phobia, is boy bands. Boy bands, when they reunite, is my phobia. They will do anything. I'm a bit obsessed with the Blue reunion at the moment. You know, Blue are back, and their Instagram is really good value.
Really?
It's really
I get
good.
to have a look.
They've obviously got some like 19-year-old running their social media who's making them do all these like TikTok things together, and it is really good. It's worth watching.
Okay.
I just get cringed out by like. Well, maybe I can show you one. 'Cause it's quite funny.
I do cringe, if I'm totally honest, anyone over the age of 30 doing TikTok dances.
I just get, they do these videos where they sort of sing a cappella together in a room, and I know it's sort of, it's their job, but it just cringes me out. I just can't watch it.
Show me.
Some of these, like this kind of thing. I don't
Like
know
if I came in here and you said to me, we've got to learn this TikTok dance for private parts TikTok.
like this, I just find
quit.
really.
Make me wanna call you in the middle of the night. You make me wanna hold you till the morning light. You make me wanna love. You make me wanna fall. You make me wanna surrender my soul. I know this is a feeling that
Is this
I just
attractive
can't
to women?
fight. You're the first and last thing on my mind. You make me wanna love. You make me wanna fall. You make me wanna surrender my soul.
Oh, you know what
Do
I
we
find?
is
You
that
know
good?
what I find really cringe is when people are singing and they get like really into it, and they're like doing all this stuff. You're like, why? It's not. You don't need to do all
It's
that.
what we were
crap.
saying last week, though, isn't it? Like, men getting too into anything is a bit cringe.
Isn't it?
You're not really allowed to take anything too seriously.
No,
But that's my issue with those singing videos, is how like seriously they're all taking it.
I think that's what the problem is.
I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's difficult. It's a shame because I used to like Blue when I was younger.
I really like Blue.
Yeah.
Should we go to one of those?
I went to watch a Tottenham game on Sunday, and as we were leaving, my friend who I was with, we walked past this pub, and he was like, "Oh, Anthony Costa from Blue's always in there. We could go in and have a drink if you want." I was like, "It's not really selling it for me that Anthony Costa from Blue's always in there. I'm sure he is always in there, but it's not." Doesn't make me want to go through the door.
Who would make you want to go through the door? Like, who would you actually be quite starstruck by if you saw them?
Who would I get starstruck by? I get starstruck by weird people. I'd get starstruck by like Barack Obama. If they said Barack Obama's in there, I'd like that. If Barack Obama was in a pub outside the Tottenham Stadium, I think a lot of people would be shocked. Who else? I don't know. Actors. I'm not really that fussed by actors. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to think who I would.
A lot of actors are actually quite boring when you meet them.
Who is it? Someone said this the other day that there's an actor and he's actually Ryan Reynolds. Apparently in real life he's like really unfunny. Did you see this article? Daily Mail, so it's obviously true. But it was there was this whole thing basically saying how Ryan Reynolds is really not a funny guy at all, which is surprising.
Who said that?
Well, the Daily Mail fucking did. It could be a complete lie, but you would imagine that he'd be how he is in real life, how he is in his films.
Yeah, but no one is like that in real life. That it would be a night. You can't be like exactly as you are. This is the thing about comedians that people are
you're not actually that funny.
90% of comedians, when you meet them, are not as they seem on TV, but then you couldn't be. It'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, if you were on all the time, but but then to find out someone's actually very serious when they sort of give off that they're not that serious. Do you know what I mean?
Who's been the biggest, most disappointing celebrity you've met?
None of them have really been disappointing. I'm just thinking about people that I was sort of. We spoke about this before, surprised by, like, you know, when these articles come out that people's like PAs or actors' PAs say that they're actually awful in real life. And
that never really surprises me that much though. That someone is awful. I assume people are awful, and then if they're not, it's a surprise. Sort of, yeah. Don't you?
Yeah.
Do you not assume that most people in that position would be awful? And then you go, oh, actually, they're actually really nice.
Well, to be honest, I've only met reality stars, so I've never met anyone.
I met Sol Campbell once, who used to play for Arsenal.
I had dinner with him.
And Sol Campbell?
Yeah.
Why?
At Highclere
Up
Castle.
a hot air balloon?
No, it was at Highclere for Haggis night. Whatever it's
Sol
called, Burns
Campbell?
night.
Are
Yeah.
we talking about the same person?
Yeah, the footballer. He was there with his wife.
Was he nice to you?
Yeah, he was really sweet.
He wasn't very nice to me.
Oh, really? Him and my dad got on very well.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah.
I asked him for an autograph when I was 7 and he said no.
were you
To a
being
7-year-old boy.
Why? Maybe he was
He
busy.
he looked me in the eyes and he said no. Isn't that wild?
Wait, why though?
I think about that a lot.
He was really sweet really nice when I met him.
Do you think I did something wrong?
Probably, yeah. Were you being irritating?
I was pulling at his shirt.
Yeah, fucking irritating. I'm gonna fuck off. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I would have been annoying. Who says no to a 7-year-old though?
Maybe I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I always just think maybe they were like like not having a good day or just something. Because you wouldn't really, would you?
There are some people that you kind of want to be like. I heard a story about a friend of mine worked in a shop in Chelsea, and Naomi Campbell came into the shop.
Isn't she? She's known to be a bit of a twat, isn't she?
Well, she
Finish.
came into this shop my friend was working in and was apparently really rude to everyone. But then I was like, you kind of want Naomi Campbell to be a bit rude though. That's sort of her. I don't know. Maybe I'm on my
but
own
not
here,
to
but
not. You don't. What you would like her to be arrogant because of how
I don't know.
successful
Like
she is.
if I met like Kate Moss and she sort of like pushed a table over and made a child cry, I'd be like, yeah, I've met Kate Moss. That's exactly what I want. That was the experience I wanted.
I suppose if someone's like iconically known for being a certain way, it's one thing. But I don't like, you hear all that stuff about like James Corden, who's like really rude to waiters and stuff. I don't agree with that.
Being rude.
Yeah, there's like being arrogant and then there's being actually
I
just
agree.
point
I'm
blank
not
rude.
encouraging people to be rude, obviously.
Or
But
like,
I think it's difficult when people's public persona is that they're really nice, and then when you meet them and they're not really nice.
so you're gusted about Sol Campbell.
I don't think he cares whether people think he's nice or not. I can't believe you had dinner with him.
Yeah, my parents do this to me a lot. They say, "Oh, I had no idea what I'd signed up for." And this is when I was sober, so doing sort of event things, paranoid, I had anxiety enough as it was. Anyway, but I was like, can you find a black tie dress and drive down to Highclere, which is it's the castle where they filmed Downton Abbey. Next thing you know, I'm learning to do Scottish fucking reeling with like a load of people I'd never met.
All old footballers.
All old footballers, yeah.
Would you ever date a footballer?
You've asked me this before.
Have I?
Footballers-
I ask it every time I see
Yeah,
you.
you sort of like Groundhog Day on this podcast, isn't it? I wouldn't not, but I mean, I'm dating a cricketer. I don't know, the football thing was never like, you know how some girls would love to be a footballer's wife?
That's what I mean, but you were never that fast.
Not really, no. More because I have no interest in football. So if he said, do
You
you want to
don't
come
have
watch
to be interested in football, though.
do you want to watch a game? No. Yeah. Been to one football game in my life in Belgium. You can smoke at those, let me tell you.
That's why you went.
That's why I went.
Okay, so of these three, Liv, eating a kangaroo penis, lying in a coffin of rats, or crawling through a dark tunnel full of spiders, which of those sounds the worst? And which sounds like you could handle? Could you handle any of those?
They're all pretty fucking horrific, to be
How
honest.
are you with eating things?
Well, I think the one I actually weirdly would find the hardest would be lying in a coffin with rats. No, I wouldn't actually. Sorry, no. It'd be crawling through a tunnel with the spiders because of the darkness in the tunnel. The spiders wouldn't bother me too much. But then I'm like, could I really eat it as something's anus? No. I don't think I could, actually.
I genuinely don't know how they... You know when they have to like down a really big drink of something awful?
The thought of it makes me feel
honestly
horrific.
don't know what I would do if I was in that
But
position.
there was one they had
Do you
to...
think the adrenaline of it makes you do it? Because you're like... If you're in that position, you make yourself do it.
But
I
I don't know.
honestly
But then in the back of your head, you'd know that realistically they can't give you something that's going to do any damage to you, can you? Do you have to sign a life and death waiver kind of thing?
Yeah, but you're right that they're never going to put you in a position where you're actually going
There's a
to...
scorpion. Although they did eat one, didn't they? Was it a scorpion? I don't know. You know what? I could eat. I don't know what a wood tree grub is. It's an animal's asshole, which I just really could have to say no to. That's what does it. The thought of eating a chewy pig's bum, like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Makes me feel sick thinking about it. Or a kangaroo's cock, like.
Yeah. It would be bad, wouldn't it? Oh. It would be bad.
So when I did, on Sidemen, we each had to pick a seat, and there was obviously like 12 of them for all of us. Was it 12? And they had these plates covered with like domes, and anyway, we all had to pick one to then eat.
Oh, God.
I could
Immediately
smell.
my heart's racing.
It was panic, and it went in order of like whatever the easiest one. So number 1 was the easiest, number 12 or something was the hardest one. Anyway, we all sat down. I was like halfway through, so mine was like the medium to hardest sort of one. And I sat there and I could smell something disgusting. And I was like panicking. I was like, what the fuck is in here? I imagined like dog crap or something. Anyway, whipped the thing off, and it was that durian fruit. And the smell alone was disgusting. Like,
what is this fruit called
it
again?
smells like vomit. They had to buy a whole separate fridge to keep it in because the smell is that horrific. And
you can't buy it anywhere normal, can you?
No,
you have
you've
to
got
get it from like special places.
It's like it's quite a delicacy in some places, I think, isn't it?
Morinda fruit.
Yeah.
Morinda.
Yeah, it's fruit bearing in the coffee family from Southeast Asia, and it's vomit fruit.
It's vomit fruit. That's the smell.
It's
The
called
smell of
vomit
vomit
fruit.
is the rankest thing. When people are sick, it's just...
Oh my God, it sounds awful.
Yeah. But the one that I actually surprised myself was when I had to put my head in that box and they filled it with bugs, which I bought, like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like...
Yeah.
The end of the world.
No, I'd rather do that than eat the vomit fruit.
Yeah.
Because you can just close your eyes and that.
It's the bug thing though, isn't it? Like eating a bug is just, there's something gross about that.
Have you ever been to one of those countries where they would eat like a...
Crickets and stuff?
Yeah, or a locust on a stick?
No, I don't think, I know, I haven't, and I can't say it would be
Or a scorpion.
hugely appetising, no. Would you eat all that in Thailand?
I did try it once in
Was it
Thailand.
nice?
No. Or like they put a rat on a stick.
No, that's not for me.
Yeah, it's not great. It's really not great. The eating is that would be, of all of those challenges, the
Eating or drinking something that you had to...
Anything else I think I would be, I mean, I'm really setting myself up for failure, but I think I'd be okay at lying in a coffin of rats. My main issue with going on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here would be walking around with a phone number on my back. That just feels a bit demeaning. Do you know what I mean?
That is your biggest concern.
That to me feels like the most embarrassing part of the whole show is just wandering around with a phone number on you.
How long are they in there for?
It's quite a while.
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just weird, the idea that you would get like completely detached from like the world. Like when I went on, I don't want to keep bringing it up. I went on Big Brother.
What, for an hour?
Yeah. I'm sure everyone watched it. But I went on
Did you get splurged or scunged or what's the stuff called?
Scourged?
No, what did you...
Gunged?
Gunged, that's it.
Scourged?
Scourged. So last week
Did you get scourged?
Tom was asked to go on Big Brother and he had a huge dilemma actually.
I got asked to go on Big Brother and they said, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they said, are you happy to be gunged on live TV?
And
I was with you at the time.
Tom thought it was rather low rent.
I thought I was with
and it
Liv.
might be detrimental to his career that he's been
As a serious comedian. I was with Liv and I was like, do I want to get gunged? Is that a bit of shit to get gunged? And we concluded that it would be fine to be gunged. So then I went back and said, okay, I'm happy to be gunged. And then they gave back and said, actually, we're not gunging anyone anymore because it would make too much of a mess. That's what they said. Anyway, I went on Big Brother and I was talking to the girl Martha, sweet girl who'd just been evicted. And she was like, I haven't had my phone for like a month. She's like,
nice.
I took my phone out at one point while we were talking. And she was like, I haven't seen a phone for a month. She was like, that's the first phone I've seen for a month. And I was like, have they not given you your phone back yet? And she was like, no, I don't get it back until like tomorrow. And she was like, it's really weird that when you have it taken away from you for that long, you just forget about them.
But you also didn't miss it. Like when I was going on about it as well, inside, you have to hand your phone over. And I weirdly didn't notice it.
Yeah,
like,
is it like panic for like a few hours and then you sort of forget about it?
No, I was more scared about not having a ciggy. That was my bigger concern.
Did you not have a cigarette for the whole time?
Oh, of course I fucking did.
Yeah.
Straight back out. No, I had to go into like a little area. But no, the phone thing I really enjoyed. And I remember when I first got it back again, I held it and didn't turn it on for about half an hour.
How many messages did you have when you turned it back on?
Yeah, quite a lot.
How many?
Oh God, as if I remember.
Wouldn't it be shit if you turned it back
just
on and you had
one from your
nothing?
mum? Well done.
It's been off for a
just
month.
from Vodafone offering a discount.
And you're like, there's something wrong with my phone. It's always disappointing when you're on a flight and you turn your phone back on at the other end and you feel like excited because you're like, I'm going to get my phone back and there's going to be loads of messages.
Nothing.
And there's nothing. The only message is from EE telling you you've landed in a new country.
Pits. But my thing that's so annoying, I always find whenever I'm sitting on my phone, never get any messages. The second I cannot be on my phone. Like if I'm having a massage or something, the thing goes fucking berserk.
I'm having a massage.
Yeah,
or something.
I'm trying to think of reasons
Is that
where you
the only
wouldn't have
time
your
when
phone.
you're not on your phone? Is when
No,
you're
I
being
try not to
massaged?
be on it. No, like if I'm trying not to be on my phone, or like
Yeah,
you know, or it's like when you're getting fucking nails done. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's ringing.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you have rules with Rory where you say to each other, we're not going to be on our phones for...
Well, we try, like, I think there are times that I'll be aimlessly scrolling. And I don't know why I do it. I'm looking at shit for a second, then just keep going. So I try not to in the evenings if we're watching TV and stuff.
Yeah. What about at dinner and stuff?
No, not really. No, I wouldn't do that. That's just quite rude, though.
Yeah, it's quite rude, isn't it? But we have, Olivia and I have like should we not go on our phones for the next 4 hours? And we'll
Yeah,
both
it's
put our
quite
phones
good.
away.
Before Christmas, when I had a sort of semi-breakdown, I turned mine off for a week. Literally for a week. I gave it to my mum.
Did you really?
Yeah.
For a whole week?
For a whole week.
How was that?
Yeah, it was really nice. I didn't even, but after 2 days, like I was stressing
Over
about
Christmas?
Over Christmas, the week before, I was having a really bad place, and I remember my mum was like, "Why don't you just give me your phone?" And so I gave it to her, and then I didn't take it back again for a week. It was really nice. Like after 2 days, I didn't even notice. And
Oh,
like
so
then I'd
you're
wake
quite
up-
used to getting rid of your phone.
I don't mind not having a phone. I quite like it.
It always
in fact.
annoys me when really, really famous. Like I saw Simon Cowell on a podcast the other day talking about how great it is not having a phone. He was like, "I don't have a phone. It's great. I don't have a phone." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you can not have a phone because you've got 8 assistants
telling you what you need
and
to
you've
be
got
doing.
like this whole team around you." If a regular person went, "I'm just not going to have a phone,"
People find it fucking
just
irritating.
lose all their friends, lose their family. No one would speak to them. You can only get away with not having a phone if you.
Isn't it Ed Sheeran who doesn't have a phone?
Yeah, but again,
Yeah. See, yeah.
I don't know. Are you at the level yet where you could do that?
Obviously not.
Just get rid of you. Everyone's like,
All my
Liv
pe-
Bentley doesn't have a phone.
I think people would just find it odd.
All of the messages can go through me,
I think that's best they don't.
and then I'll pass them on. I'll sift through the emails. Okay, our stat of the week is about phobias, Liv.
Yeah.
How many adults report having a specific real phobia in their life in the UK? How many adults have a phobia? What do you think? Percentage-wise?
Probably quite a lot.
What do you think, half?
Yeah, sorry, I've just...
Should we say half?
Oh, I think probably over half.
More than half?
Yeah,
70%?
yeah.
Okay. We'll find out in part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of Private Parts with me, Tom Lucy.
And me, Liv Bentley.
Let's get the stat answer. 13% of all adults reported having a specific phobia.
That's so low. 13.
13%. So you must...
So some people are just hard as nails and other people are just a bunch of pussies.
I think there's a difference between like not liking something and having an actual phobia of it, isn't there?
But there's weird phobias, like some people are afraid of buttons or...
Well, we're going to get into that. Here we go. The weird world of phobias. Rare and strange phobias reported in 2024. Fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
I've weirdly heard that before. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, fear of belly buttons. Belly buttons are an odd one, aren't they? I mean, I'm not scared of them, but they're not particularly pleasant, are they?
No, but a phobia is an exaggeration, isn't it? There's lots of
No.
things you don't like, but I wouldn't say you have a phobia of them.
I could see how people have a phobia of them.
Belly buttons.
Yeah, there is something a bit odd about them.
What's all about them?
Well, they sort of collect dust or something. I don't know. Not
Not
dust.
if, not
what
if
do you
you've
mean?
got one that goes out.
Yeah, see.
Is that worse?
I think, yeah, that is a little odd. No offense to anyone who's got an outside belly button.
Have you
but
got one that goes in?
I do have one that goes in, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone actually created an Instagram page of my belly button. It's called Liv Bentley's Belly Button.
Really?
Yeah, bizarre.
Can we find that? Is that still up?
You probably could, you know.
Who created that?
Probably one of my fucking sisters. No, joking. It wouldn't be.
What's up with your belly button? Is it
Nothing.
particularly nice or
I've got a
bad?
very nice belly button.
So why did someone create an Instagram?
I don't know.
Liv Bentley's belly button.
Honestly, when kept getting tagged in these photos, and I thought, what the fuck?
What, like zoomed in pictures
Seemed
of your
to just-
belly button?
It was honestly just, there was about 9 photos of just my belly button. It really weird. Something
It's really
put
weird.
so much time on that. What's another?
Why were you famous on Made in Chelsea for wearing tops?
For wearing a belly button?
Crop tops.
No, I don't know what. I honestly don't know why.
That's weird.
Fear of mannequins.
Yeah, they're pretty weird, aren't they, mannequins? I wouldn't say I've got a phobia of them, but they are weird. Do we need mannequins anymore? You know, in shops where they've got mannequins with all the shit with the clothes on them.
Well, how else?
Seems
would
a bit outdated now,
How
doesn't
else
it?
would you have the clothes?
Just look at them on a rack.
Well, no, because sometimes you can't. I think it's good having.
Or they'll have like photos of models wearing the clothes. But do we need like a mannequin?
Actually, what a niche idea! Imagine if they just got rid of mannequins altogether, and clothes were just. You just have to guess how they look. Really,
Well, you don't guess. They can still have photos of people wearing them, or you can still see them on the rack. It's not like you see a jacket on a rack and you think I cannot imagine what that would look like on a person. My brain cannot compute what that would look like.
It might.
It seems like an old-fashioned thing, mannequins.
Oh right, well we'll get rid of them for you.
Would you ever have like a mannequin in your bedroom? Like,
well, I actually, because when I used to wear wigs,
yeah, here we go.
I got sent a head once.
Okay.
Like a mannequin head that I'd put the wig onto.
That's what I mean, yeah.
To like curl things. And actually I scared myself with it sometimes.
Why?
Well, because it looked like a head flying around my fucking bedroom.
In the middle of the night, you just see like the outline of a head.
Yeah, with its wig on.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Actually, it's a bit creepy.
My dad once bought this like statue of a bronze man. This like life-size bronze man which stands in the garden. It was like a weird...
That is a bit creepy.
And he put it at the end of the garden and my mum hated it. Because at night, when all the lights were off, you would just see the outline of a man at the end of the garden. Well, and it was really bizarre.
We have all of them with our heads, haven't I told you about that? We've all got these bronzes of our heads, me and my sisters, and my mum. They're fucking horrible.
Where?
And when we moved house, my mum shoved mine into a suitcase, and I opened the suitcase, and the fucking head was in there.
Your head in a
suitcase? My head was in there, yeah, it was horrible.
Why have you got all of your heads?
I don't know. It's just it's some weird thing.
I think we should do an episode at your family house, because it does sound like a sort of house of horrors.
But my parents were, one of those kids, one of those families where they had all our heads, like all of us painted and all that sort of stuff. Like very sweet.
Your family it sounds like the sort of family where we'd like walk around and your mum would just be naked. Your dad would be like roller skating around.
Not like Saltburn.
There'd be like oil paintings of everyone everywhere.
There are those, yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Paintings.
I look just like my brother because I used to have sort of no fucking hair and yeah.
Did you sit for an oil painting as a family?
Did. No. We did individual portraits.
And they're hanging in the house?
Yeah.
Are they?
I'll take a photo and show you next time.
That's really
I do
funny.
look like a little boy.
That's
Fear
funny.
of washing yourself. That can't be right.
Fear of washing yourself.
That's just unhygienic.
I don't think that's a phobia. That's
here's
an issue.
Fear. These are quite odd. Okay, fear of teenagers. That's a little bizarre. I mean, I have a fear generally of TikTok, but fear of a duck watching you.
Fear of a duck watching you. Where are we getting these from? Are these from a specific list?
Yeah, the psychiatrist.
What situation would you be in where a duck would be watching you?
Actually, to be totally honest, I'm a bit scared of birds. Have you seen that horror film, The Birds? I don't like when birds fly close to you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And when I was in Cape Town in January, so there was a nasty nest above the door where my room was, and I'd gone outside to take a selfie, as one does. Fucking little cunt flew and smacked me in the face because
Really?
it thought I was going for its nest. Every time I went out the door, it would just come and hit me in the face. It was horrible.
You know what you could do
Getting
is like
beaked.
just hang one of those oil paintings of you outside, and it would just fly into that
Come and
instead.
attack it. But no, actually, that is a fear of mine: is birds coming towards you.
Yeah.
I mean, making eye contact with a duck is a little bit niche.
Pigeons,
but
they're quite scary, aren't they? The pigeons in London are really quite scary, aren't they?
But haven't you seen those awful videos of seagulls when they go swoop down and take people's ice creams out of their hands? Actually, I see that fear. A fear of beards.
The pigeons in London are quite remarkable because the confidence of them is really like wild.
Yeah,
they will just like walk in front of cars, come and sit on tables right in front. They really don't. They have quite like a end of life energy, don't they? They really don't seem to care.
No.
I guess if you were a pigeon and you found yourself in Trafalgar Square, you'd think this is like being a celebrity and ending up on Dancing on Ice.
Mincing around stealing people's shit.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? Fear of beards?
I can see that.
Have you got a fear of beards?
My own, yes. No. I don't, yeah.
You scared of my beard?
I'm not scared of your beard. Although I have come across people who seem to, when they're eating, their beard seems to have had a snack as well, and then there's sort of shit hanging in their beard.
Oh, they get food caught in
I
their
think is
beards.
quite shocking, yeah.
Yeah. That's more of an older man thing, isn't it?
Possibly, yeah. Have you ever shaved yours all off?
Well, when I was a child, yeah, I didn't have a beard.
But I mean, I don't think it would be a reasonable thing to be scared of, no.
No, I think it's. I tell you what, I would have a phobia of shaving my beard off. If you asked me right now to shave my beard off, I would be really scared about that.
Why?
Because I haven't done that for like 6 years. I haven't.
Does Olivia mind it?
I don't know. Obviously, I don't
Because
think
I
so.
prefer it when Rory's like clean shaven, because I actually just find it more irritating on my skin, if I'm honest. Like when you're.
You don't like a beard?
No, I find it uncomfortable. It's just irritating on my skin.
Yeah, but you just got to get used to it, I think. That's what Olivia said at the beginning of our relationship.
Well, yours is probably the right length where it's not stubble. But you know, if you're a girl and you're like kissing a guy with stubble,
Yeah.
it's like exfoliating your fucking face.
That's a
It's
good
really
thing, isn't it?
uncomfortable. I've had a rash because of it. No.
So do you make Rory clean shave every day?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't make him. He doesn't, but off his own accord.
At 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, are there any other weird phobias or
We've got some fear of vegetables.
fear of vegetables?
Fear of mirrors is a big one.
Fear of mirrors, that's a good one.
That's one I can say I'm not scared of. What?
There's
Why
a
would
lot of
you,
mirrors in your house.
what do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying there are mirrors in your house, so you don't have that problem.
Fear of mirrors is an odd one though.
That's like a fear of
Yourself.
really, isn't it?
Yeah, also, can we talk about the fear of clowns?
Okay, the fear of clowns. It's understandable.
Yeah.
You know what I used to be really scared of was the dustbin men. Every time they'd come down the driveway, I'd scream.
Really?
I remember it as a child, yeah. I think it's because I remember being really little and them coming down the drive or something and running because I thought they were going to get me. So I was
Do they
scared.
not come at like 5 o'clock in the morning or something?
Well, this is when I was down at my parents' house in the countryside. Yeah.
So why were you up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Were you
weren't
doing one of your
coming at
weird walks again?
What, when I was 6 years old? Yeah.
Yeah, wandering
marching
around.
around by myself. No, it was like the normal time, like 8 in the morning or something.
Hmm.
I remember I'd hate them. I'd hide under the table.
I used to want to be a bin man when I was a child.
Did you?
Yeah, when they used to come and collect the rubbish, I used to go into my parents' room and watch them do it through the window. And I used to love it. And I used to say to my parents, that's what I want to do when I'm older.
Quite sweet.
Quite sweet, isn't it? That was around the same time that Sol Campbell said I couldn't have his autograph. I was quite a troubled child.
I can see that.
I thought it'd be quite a good job. Your work is over by like 9:30 in the morning.
You say that, but I think dustbin men do work through the entire day. It's just because they've got to certain areas at certain times.
Do they? I only ever see them collecting rubbish like, first thing in the morning.
I imagine that they take the rubbish somewhere and do something with it.
I love going to the tip. We can
Oh
talk
my
about
god,
that.
it's my favourite
I love
thing.
the tip.
Rory and I did it the other weekend. Why
Wandsworth
is it
tip.
Wandsworth tip? You
Yeah,
have
it's
to
great.
You have to log in, give
Wandsworth
your
tip, up, round the corner, back
also
down.
every time we go in there we say what a nightmare it would be if you had to reverse out of that. It's the
God, I
tightest
can't believe we've not
little
bumped into you at
track.
Wandsworth Tip.
It's the height of activity. Saturday morning, everyone's there. And then there are people who we want to exchange things with.
I'm fizzing with excitement. What have you taken to the tip?
Oh, loads. Fake plants, cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Just a load of old shit.
It is amazing, the tip, isn't it?
It is.
Register before, pull up, number plate accepted.
Why do you think it
There's
is?
no thrill like it when they read the number plate and you get ushered in.
But because I'm quite dark and twisted, I always wonder if you had a body,
Here we go.
do you think...
You're coming to the right person.
Do
Yeah,
you-
go on. What's
do
your
you
question?
think the reason they want your number plate is in case that you have ditched body parts or you've hidden
No,
something?
I think the reason they want your number plate is to stop the tip getting too busy. Because you have to book your spot. I think if you dumped a body at Wandsworth Tip, they'd probably see it on all the cameras everywhere.
But you could do it really well. Just,
The idea of someone like dragging a body through like a busy tip,
no, but they would not the whole body, but just like a part. Like,
the head.
say they'd sort of chop
So,
some
excuse me, mate. Which one does this go in?
garden and
Mixed card.
mixed shit.
There's a story about was it a soldier?
Yeah.
There's a soldier who was on a night out with his friends. And was really drunk and got into a wheelie bin down like a quiet road when he was really drunk. And then he must have fallen asleep in the wheelie bin. And the bin men came in the morning and took the wheelie bin away and he died in the wheelie bin.
And they found his body
in
the tip.
Mm.
But if you think about it logically, not that I plan on murdering anyone, but it would be quite a good place, wouldn't it? Because how would they know it was you?
No. If you had to get rid of a body, you wouldn't take it to the tip.
But not
because
a
that's
full...
where everyone, all the cameras everywhere, all the people everywhere.
I'm not saying you'd lug a great big body out of your boot. I'm just saying if you were to chop someone up. Okay, this is getting too far. I don't know why my brain has thought about this so much. It just does cross my mind when we go to the tip.
I
Like,
can't
imagine
believe-
being one of the people working there and you find like a loose left arm hanging around. Like,
I'm sure that has happened. But it's not where I would get rid of a body.
where would you get rid of a body then?
somewhere in the woods.
That's great, that one.
I can't believe I've not bumped into you at Wandsworth Tip. It's a great day out.
We need to get out more.
It's a great day out. If you live in the Wandsworth area, or if you don't and you fancy a day trip,
Go to the Tip.
get involved. This podcast is sponsored by Wandsworth Tip. The Tip is a good day
The
out.
Tip is a good day out.
Clowns, I'm not that fussed by clowns, to be honest.
I think it is a little odd. I remember as a kid, though, there was a sort of well-known clown called Ali Doolally who used to do all the kids' parties. I'm pretty sure he got arrested for being a pedo.
Ali Doolally.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite a pedo name.
Sounds very pedo. Now I think about it. But they tend to be slightly odd, don't they? They're slightly
Clowns.
slightly pedo-ish.
Clowns?
Yeah.
All of them?
Like, it is a bit of a strange job if you think, I'm going to go dress up and just hang out with a load of kids.
Yeah. When you put
They
it
are,
like
and they are scary.
I don't think they're that scary.
Have you not seen it?
I have seen it, and yeah, I mean I just don't have a particular. If I saw a clown on the street, I wouldn't freak out.
If we had done Fright Night for Thorpe Park, I would have screamed at like those sorts of clowns running at you. Do kids still have clowns?
There are two different types of clowns, aren't there? There's the sort of circus level clown, or the clown for hire at a kid's party.
That's worse. 100%. That's
The
weirder.
kids' party is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that involves kids' parties is weird, isn't it?
It is a little odd. I'm just now thinking I'd like to Google if that man was arrested because I'm pretty sure he was a creeper.
Yeah. I don't know about kids. I feel uncomfortable at kids' parties. Not that I go to them very often.
Why are you at them doing stand-up?
Yeah. I do stand up at a kids' party for the right fee. If anyone's listening, a friend of mine who's who's also a comedian did stand up once at a bar mitzvah, which is a 13-year-old boy's birthday party.
Sorry, say that again.
A bar mitzvah,
Oh yeah.
which is a 13-year-old boy's birthday. A friend of mine who's a comedian got booked to do stand up at a bar mitzvah, and apparently one of the 13-year-old boys came up to him afterwards and just handed him a load of cash and was like, "Thanks very much." Just gave him like £400 in cash. All these 13-year-old boys.
Yeah, that was quite bizarre.
Acting like 40-year-old men.
What have you done stand-up at? Didn't you do it at a wedding? Did you say?
Yeah, I've did a Russian oligarch's wedding.
Oh yeah, you said that. That's quite cool though.
Yeah. Hosted the construction awards last night.
Sorry.
Don't want to brag.
The fuck are they?
Things are going pretty well, Liv. I said to my agent at the beginning of the month, I want Big Brother and I want the construction awards. And
What are the construction awards? Sorry.
what are they? They're like all industries have like an awards night where they sort of have awards for different things in the industry, and they normally get someone to host them. And I hosted one last night.
And you gave an award?
Gave out loads of awards.
For what?
Like North East England Rising Star Award.
Sorry?
And it was loads of people who work in the property industry. Somebody won, came up,
Have you all heard of this?
gave them an award, had a photo, they went back down. Did that a lot.
Paid job, was it?
Oh yeah. I'm not hosting the construction awards for fun. Do you get asked to do any weird, like, can you come to this event, we'll pay you to be here?
I once commentated at a chicken wing eating competition, and it's safe to say it
How have we not heard this
was
story yet?
quite horrific. It was
Yeah.
in Clapham, and there's all these lads choking back these wings, and I was going to be sick. It was
What did you have to do? Stand at the
Stand
side?
there, go on, like that. It was quite a lot. There were people in the club as well. 2 rows of men chowing this chicken down, and I had to like be encouraging.
On your own?
Yeah.
And you were paid to do that?
One of the first sorts of jobs I ever had. Yeah, well, I was wearing like a ripped T-shirt that
With
said
your belly button
"Eat
out?
your meat" or something really quite shocking.
Eat my meat.
Eat your meat. It
Wow.
was a lot. And I remember actually going into the bathroom and 2 girls slagging me off in the loo next door. And I remember thinking, you can't.
I've had that before where I've had it, like done a gig and then been sort of like gone to the loo afterwards and heard people discussing me.
I think it's really funny.
I have to come out and be like, just before
I know, I confront
before they
them.
say anything bad.
I just go.
Oh, it's the worst.
I just go. Oh, do you, dude? I don't know.
There's a comedy club in London called Top Secret Comedy Club,
Yeah.
and where you wait to go on stage is literally just behind like a curtain. There's no backstage. You just stand behind this curtain before you go on stage, and the audience are the other side of the curtain coming in and out of the venue. And there's a load of like photos on the wall of all the comedians who've performed there. And I remember being there once, standing behind this curtain, and I could hear these two girls looking at all the photos on the wall, and they were like talking about everyone as they were going around, and they looked at my one and they were like, oh yeah, I've seen him here before, he wasn't very good. And I was standing like literally like 10 centimeters away from the other side of the curtain. I would have put my head through
and said shut up.
Yeah,
something.
I should have done that.
Did you just say nothing?
I just said nothing.
Oh, Tom.
I just sort of went on stage and just had that in my head the whole time.
No, don't. That is quite hard to bounce back from that though. Like if
to bounce back.
Do you know what I mean? If you suddenly just heard someone say that, I'd be.
Yeah, but you have to get used to that, don't you? You're the same. You have to develop quite a thick skin.
Yeah, I suppose you do. But
chicken wing eating contest.
Yeah, it was.
That sounds like a good gig.
It was quite funny.
That,
actually,
I'd do that.
Stuff like that is quite jokes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I'm not good at the whole public speaking thing. Like I've realised I'm actually quite a nervous person. I did it recently at something. What was it? I can't remember. I just pussied out.
Oh, you had to do that Q&A, didn't you?
No, I did that. No, I did another one recently for a job. It was about dating. The problem is because I'm like quite, my chat's a bit low rent. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll say fuck or I talk about sex and yeah, it's a niche market. What I talk about.
Okay, Liv, that is all we have time for. Next week we're going to talk about fetishes, apparently. But if anyone listening has any strange phobias that we've not mentioned, we'd like to hear them. Contact at privatepartspodcast.com, at privatepodcast on all social media. We are on all social media at Private Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Contact at privatepartspodcast.com.
No, you know what I would like to know actually? If anyone had a phobia that's been cured and how you've cured it.
Good, like that. Like what, like a hypnosis or something?
Yeah. Or like, you know, if someone says you're scared of something, you've got to do it. Like if you're scared of drowning, you need to go and swim or something.
Like that. Great.
You know what we didn't talk about was the that apparently what your fear is, who say it is drowning, that's how you died in a previous life.
Should we save this for next week? This is good stuff. Bye-bye.